So I want to look at this tweet today. This is coming in here from Marcus Mosher. And if you don't know who he is the host of the Locked On Cowboys and Locked On Dynasty. So shout out to him for this post right here. But with that being said, this is the consensus board has the offensive line ranked for the 2024 NFL Draft. And keep in mind that every single team has their own draft board. So while yes, this is the consensus, it doesn't really mean anything at the end of the day because certain players can be ranked higher than, other players on certain boards. For example, for the Bengals, they might say, well, they think that Fuaga and J.C. Latham are the best options in this NFL draft. So they could be ranked up way higher than what, another team would have, who simply maybe they don't want a right tackle or they just value their players in a different light. Nonetheless, though, I kind of want to take a look at this because we are now 3 weeks away from the draft. So we're kind of getting closer and closer to that, kind of finalized look of what these, draft boards were kind of consensus draft boards will look like. So obviously, Joe Watt is still number one no matter what. Penn State tackle is still number 2. Troy is number 3. J.C. Latham is number 4. And when I say number 4, I mean of offensive linemen on this board here. But just interesting how J.C. Latham, when we started this whole process, I'd say the last 3 months, Latham was behind Fuaga every single time. Now he's above him. Obviously, Mims is very much the same. Tyler Guyton is the same. Jackson Parrish-Johnson, I still find it very weird that he is below Tyler Guyton. And I feel like, especially with the Combine, I feel like Jackson Parrish-Johnson, I feel like he's kind of worked his way up the draft board, if anything, rather than him being down at 26 here. I know he's a center. Technically, he is a center. I was going to say center/guard, but he's never played guard. He's only played center. The hope is, if we got him, we could make him into a guard. But at this moment in time, he would just be a center, going into the draft. But still, though, I kind of, I guess tackle does hold a lot more merit when it comes to first round. Usually you find first rounds being tackles or guards, not really centers. But I still feel it's weird that Tyler Guyton is above Jackson Parrish-Johnson. I mean, even going down this list here, like, where is okay, so the Washington guy, Husky guy, is all the way up here. That makes sense. And I feel like Troy is going up draft boards more and more as we talk about. And like, okay, Graham Barton, Zach Frazier, Jordan Morgan, Kingsley. This is, again, a guy that we talked about many times a couple months ago, being a potential second-round pick. Now there's chances of him being a late first-round pick. And again, like I said, these guys go up and down the draft boards. But it's just kind of interesting to see some of these names, again, as we've been following them, going up and down the draft board here. So let me actually do this real fast. I want to go to PFF mock draft, right? Because again, like I said, this is a consensus he posted, but I want to see how does it compare to the consensus of PFF, because PFF usually has their own draft board. So they have Troy at 14, and then they have a 13.9, Mims at 22. Okay, so it's very similar. Guyton is 30 on PFF, though. Oh, my bad. Did not have this set up correctly here. So it's very similar for some players. Other players is completely off of. So, like, for example, 14 is very similar for Troy. And then looking at this, Mims is 22. According to this consensus, he's 21. Guyton is 30, yet on this board, he's 22. And then Jackson Parrish-Johnson, he's 24, and according to this board, he's 26. So it's very similar. So I guess they're just kind of taking, again, the consensus. They're looking at all different types of rankings and putting them together. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, at pick 20 or 18, not 28, pick 18, I'm still happy if we got J.C. Latham or Fuaga or even Amarius Mims to a certain degree. Any of these 3 guys, I'm okay with. Or if we got Troy, I'd be really happy, but any of these 5 guys, I will say, right here. From Troy all the way down to Mims. I don't want Guyton. I don't mind Jackson Parrish-Johnson. I don't know how much I'll love the pick, just because I feel like we do need a it's weird, right? It's a weird situation to be in. And I know a lot of people, when I make my mock drafts, a lot of people have issues with, oh, you took this guy, you took that guy, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with that. And I get it at the end of the day. It's, again, like I said before my last video, it's an age-old thing we've been complaining about last year as well, when a lot of people wanted Michael Mayer, but then a lot of people wanted the right tackle, right? And the idea was, even if we got a right tackle, he would be the backup to Jonah Williams. And now whoever we get this year would be the backup to Trent Brown. At the end of the day, Bengals are going to take best player available, so it doesn't really matter, you know, like what we think, like, oh, well, we need this, we need that, like, it would be better to go this, this, and this. They're going to take the best player on the board. And just like last year when that ended up being Myles Murphy, and they ended up taking Myles Murphy instead of taking, you know, instead of taking Michael Mayer, Sam Laporta, or half the other guys we thought they would take, it's very possible they do the exact same thing this year as well. But yeah, so I just want to look at this today, guys. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. That's about it.